Hi, I'm Amy, thank you for tuning in. I've been spending a lot of time in bookshops recently, often going to sign copies of my book, and whether I've been in a Waterstones or Forbidden Planet or an independent bookshop, it's made me realise that I do spend a lot of time judging books by their covers, and quite often I'll pick a book up from a table or particularly forward-facing ones on shelves because I like the look of the cover. And I tend to find that books that have got creepy elements on the cover or that allude to something in the plot, like if there's a symbol that suggests there'll be a witch in the book or something that suggests vampires, I tend to find that the cover is enough to make me buy the book. So I'm going to share these covers with you. As you'll see, there is quite a theme to the books I've chosen, and I'll share a little bit about the blurbs, some of which I'll have to read from the back because I literally picked them up based on the cover. I don't know much about what they're about. So the first book has been all over social media, very much deservedly, is House of Hollow by Crystal Sutherland. And I've nearly finished reading this book and the cover just matches it absolutely perfectly. As you can see, the image of the girl with the flowers is very intriguing, it's creepy, and I like the fact that as you get through the book you start to realise that it's actually quite meaningful. And this is the story of three sisters who went missing when they were younger and mysteriously reappeared, and it had a very lasting impact on their lives. And when one of the sisters goes missing again, the other two have to try and figure out what's happened. And so far, I think I'm about 60% through on my Kindle. It's a really, really creepy book with some actually really big scary moments as well. And I think the cover definitely delivered on this one, as did all the social media buzz that this book has received. So that is the first book. The second book, if I can get the right way up, I also discovered from social media, and it's Sour Candy, which is by Keelan Patrick Burke. And I was surprised at how short this book is, but I'm excited to read something that has the story condensed into such a short number of pages. And I think a lot of the books that I'm attracted to often have something really striking imagery. Quite often I like books with bones on the cover for some reason, maybe because it alludes to the horror that it contains. But I just really like the tagline of this book, or the quote on the front of this book says that it's spectacularly good, and on the back it says, "A brilliant premise, marvellously executed. It's as close to a perfect story as I can remember reading. I only wish I'd written it myself." So quite often it's the image on a book that attracts me, but also the other little touches, like the quotes from authors, a really great tagline, usually attracts my attention as well. So I'm going to read this blurb and see if the exciting cover delivers. At first glance, Phil Pendleton and his son Adam are just an ordinary father and son, no different from any other. They take walks in the park, visit county fairs, museums and zoos, and eat together overlooking the lake. Some might say the father is a little too accommodating, giving the lack of discipline when the child loses his temper in public. Some might say he spoils his son by allowing him to set his own bedtime and eat candy whenever he wants. Some might say that such leniency is starting to take its toll on the father, given how his health has declined. What no one knows is that Phil is a prisoner, and that up until a few weeks ago on a chance encounter at a grocery store, he had never seen the child before in his life. Well, as a new mum, that's quite an eerie premise, and I think that actually sounds really cool and interesting, and I'll definitely be reviewing this on my channel in the near future. So next up, another book that I saw quite a lot on social media, The Only Good Indians, and it is by Stephen Graham Jones. I think this is an adult horror, but again, the bones on the cover attracted me, the stark black background against them, I just thought was really intriguing. So now for the first time, I'm actually going to read the blurb. Let's hope it sounds like something I'll enjoy. 10 years ago, Ricky, Gabe, Lewis and Cassidy shot some elk. It happens every year. It's been happening forever. It's the way it's always been. But this time it's different. Now, a decade later, these men are being stalked themselves, hunted, bound to their heritage, bound by society, and trapped in the endless expanse of the landscape. These men and their children must face the ferocious spirit that is coming for them, one at a time. Interesting. That doesn't sound like anything I've read before. I think I'm going to enjoy that. I wasn't sure about the hunting to begin with, but maybe if they are made to question their actions as hunters, then that could be really interesting. So another book I've judged by the cover and hopefully will be one I will enjoy. So next up we have The Project by Courtney Summers. I did cheat and read a little bit of the blurb of this one as well, and it sounds just as intriguing as the cover looks. So I have read other books by Courtney Summers quite a while ago. I remember enjoying them, so hopefully this one will be just as good. So this says, after a tragic accident kills most of her family and leaves her little sister low on the brink of death, B. Denham is desperate for a miracle. It arrives in the form of Lev Warren, the charismatic spiritual leader of the Unity Project. He promises he can save Lo. All B has to do is believe. Lo wakes in the ICU to find her parents are dead and her sister has abandoned her for the Unity Project. The more Lo learns, the more she's convinced the beloved organisation is hiding sinister secrets. If only she could make B believe. Years later, when a man shows up at the magazine Lo works for claiming the Unity Project killed his son, Lo sees the perfect opportunity to expose the group and reunite with B once and for all. But her investigation will put her in the direct path of Lev Warren, and he'll make her question everything she thought was true and all that she believes. That sounds so cool. I like the idea. It sounds a bit like it might be a cult. I think that the interrelations between sisters is something that I'm really interested in. So this sounds like it will be another really good pick. I'll make sure to review it in a future video. And last on my list is a book that I actually delayed buying for some reason. Sometimes when books like Kingdom of the Wicked have got a lot of hype around them and when I'm excited about them, I do find that I put off reading them just in case I don't like them as much as I hope I will. But this cover eventually convinced me that I needed to buy the book. It sounds brilliant, so I'm hoping that I will enjoy it as much as I've enjoyed Kerry Maniscalco's other books. So I'll just read you the blurb. I do know a little about this one, but I don't want to get it wrong. Amelia and her twin sister Victoria have been inseparable all their lives. As witches who exist secretly among humans, they know the dangers of drawing attention and work at their family's renowned Sicilian restaurant, avoiding notice and persecution. But one night, Victoria doesn't come home, and it's not long before a distraught Amelia discovers the body of her beloved twin desecrated beyond belief. Devastated, Amelia vows to find her sister's killer and seek vengeance at any cost, even if it means calling upon a dark magic that has been long forbidden. Then Amelia meets Wrath, one of the wicked, princes of hell she has been warned against since she was a child. Wrath claims to be on Amelia's side, tasked by his master with solving a series of murders on the island, of which Victoria is the latest victim. But when it comes to the wicked, nothing is as it seems. That's actually a little bit darker than I thought it might be in terms of dealing with a sister's grief at the same time as the supernatural plot and the mystery. So I'm interested to see what I think of that one. So that is it for my books with intriguing covers. I will probably spread them out over the next few review videos. I think a lot of them have creepy vibes, and I tend to find that after I've read a couple of creepy books, I want to read something else. So thank you to everyone who's continued sticking with me and watching videos. Thank you to the new subscribers. It really does help. If you like this video, please like and consider subscribing. I would love to chat to you on social media or in the comments about books with covers that you have judged and whether it's made you buy a book like it has done with me. And let me know if you've read any of these books or if any of the covers appeal to you. Thank you for watching. Bye.